Oh, welcome to another show of Word to the Wise. Oh yeah, you just tuned in to the funkiest podcast this side of the Pecos. Who, me? I'm your friendly neighborhood host, Terry Patrick, coming at you right now like I do on every single Wednesday. Yeah, it's going down just like this. This is a show that's going to bring you a powerful topic and message every single week. And boy, do we got a show for you today. Yes, you know why I do this. Yeah, I do this for Pops and Fat Mama. I want all the cousins crew to put your hands up in the air right now. Put your hands up because we are getting ready to set this stage on fire. Oh yeah, it's going down like this every single Wednesday. Word to the wise, and every show will be fire. Real quick question I would like to ask you guys today, and I want to thank you first of all for all the support that you have given me. But the question that is burning inside of my heart today is, have you ever been done dirty? Have you ever just been done in a way that was just despicable, the way that you were treated? I know a lot of us have been through that same dilemma. You see, when you are trying to do good, when you are on the right path, it seems like the enemy is going to start coming at you from every single angle that they can, and they always come with your familiar flavor. Yeah, the enemy knows what you like, but it sees you trying. We are living right now in a culture where a person who is gainfully employed gets treated like at-will work. Who ever heard of that terminology before? At will. What does that mean? Well, simply put, cousins, is they can get rid of you in a heartbeat. Yes, they can get rid of you and they can bring someone else in, and the reason that they give you is just filled with ambiguity. It's just a riddle on top of nonsense. What are you really letting me go for? We even have people who have reached their golden years. And in their golden years, you know what happened? They said, we would rather bring in someone as a new hire because your length of service and your tenure and your annual evaluations have made you get to this point where your salary is finally providing a decent income, a livable wage. Nobody's really winning. When you are a person like me, you work for someone else. Even the entrepreneur. Yes, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to have your own company. Well, guess what? Now the customer is your boss. So it doesn't stop. It's always rise and grind. But those who have worked and put in years, even decades of their life, they have gotten to the point where the company just all of a sudden let you go and did you dirty. Why did they do that? See, that why can drive one mad, drive you crazy, just trying to figure out what's inside the head of someone else. Here's what I think it is. I think they know you have gotten to the point where you're getting close to maybe even want to retire. So what they'll do is they'll drop you. And now you have to reinvent yourself. You have to go out into the job market as a person who has garnered some years. Little gray hair and a beard, you know what I'm talking about, cousins. That's why I feel what I do right here, right now, on this podcast is so very, very important, because when you go back out, it has changed. I grew up in an era where if you wanted a job, you had to go down to the place. Yeah, I go way back. I go back to the days where you had to look in the newspaper. Yeah, the want ads. help wanted, find you a job in the newspaper, show up to the place, dress professional, knock on the door, shake their hand, look them in the eye and say, I am here for that position that you have available. Well, guess what happened to me one time? I was in between positions because I worked for United States Railroad, building trains. Put in 13 years over there. Even had the golden opportunity to be the president of United Steelworkers of America, Local 8844. And I was also the chairman of civil rights. I had came up through the ranks because first I was a grievance man, and then I became the treasurer. And what happened was one day they just shut the doors, put a chain on the fence and locked us out. Right after we had completed the collection bargaining unit, we went in as a negotiation team and sat down in good faith and negotiated what I felt as the president, a great contract. Know why? It was backloaded. It wasn't a lot of money up front, but it would be greater later. It was a 4-year deal. They closed the door, put a chain on there, locked up people's welding equipment, their toolboxes. And man, that day, I had about 190 phone calls trying to figure out what happened when I was completely blindsided myself. There was few men, they were only a month, maybe 1 year away from getting what is known as the golden parachute, to where you worked your life. You gave your sweat, your tears, your soul to a company. And just like that, in a blink of an eye, they chose to lock that gate out and shut the plant down. And when they did that, it hurt. It hurt because I knew how it was when I was running for office. And I was getting out there with some great ideas. I was trying to build unity, and I did. I did build unity. We were stronger under my leadership. We were so strong that the company, the U.S. Railroad, felt intimidated. They shut the doors down and did a lot of people dirty. I'm talking about 200 plus people out on the streets. Now you have to reinvent yourself, going through the struggle. And in that, I had to get out there and provide for my family, even though they provided a severance package, is what they called it. And that severance package, what it was going to keep your insurance alive for about 6 months. And we were going to get paid for a little while during this transition time. I couldn't wait on that. I wasn't trying to file for unemployment, so I went knocking on doors the old school way, cousins. I felt like a dinosaur because I'm showing up. I see where they are building buildings. And I go over there and say, you guys haven't even started yet. You haven't hired anybody yet. I'm a leader. I'm one of the people that you should be able to bring in to this company. Let's make it happen. Here I stand. Here's my resume. This is my face. Shake my hand and let's sit down and have an interview right here. And it's like, we don't do that. No, you have to go to the corporate office like 10 states away. Send them an email, apply on the online portal. I'm like, what do you mean I have to go 10 states away? You're here, you're the hiring manager. I'm here, I'm a qualified candidate. You mean to tell me that we, as 2 men, cannot come to an agreement on a position when you have all the openings? He was like, you're right. It doesn't seem right, but that's the way it is. So you have to go through as a nameless, faceless person, go through online. And I'm telling you, I put in 99 applications. Online applications is just repeat. It's the same information over and over and over, but you don't hear back from somebody. I miss those days where if you didn't want me for the job, you had to tell me to my face. Yes, it's no longer like that. It is to the point now where if you are going to get a job, they'll put you with the temp company. All right. I thought I was applying to this building. No, you are a temporary associate and you can work your way up. Put in 90 days real strong and you can work your way up to a permanent position. Something happens in that 90 days to where they can figure out we can just keep a constant funnel of temporaries through the temp agency. And when we see someone who's getting close in a job, we'll hit them with the at wheel. Bye-bye. What is going on with the workforce today? What is happening with our society? Have you ever been done dirty? Have you ever been fired and couldn't figure out why? I know it's some of you who have been on the same job for 10 years, 20 years, dare I even say 30. And you're getting close and you start trying to figure out what's the end game. What you gonna do if they decide to part ways with you? And now what you have done, it becomes interwoven into the fabric of who you are. I'm talking to men especially. Men become what they do. I once heard a comedian say, when a man meets a woman, his friends ask him, what does she look like? What is her personality? What kind of person is she? But when a woman meets a man, first thing her friends are going to ask her, what does he do? So we become human doings and not human beings. Whew. Truer words have never been spoken, cousin. Somebody help me out. Human doings and not human beings. When they take away your position, when they take away your income, when they take away your ability to be able to feed your family, something dies inside. Unless you didn't care at all. Because see, if you didn't care, then it's an easy transition. But if you gave a damn, then it becomes very painful. I walked through that. And yes, there was a lot of people who wanted to know, how come you didn't know, Terry, that they were going to shut the doors? I sat down in good faith, built a team. I had a team of people from all different departments inside of the railroad. We had welders, we had forklift drivers, we had painters, we had people from every walk of life. We had age differences. We had people of different colors and diverse background. We were a strong committee, and we sat there at that table. And we were able to get them to give us an agreement. And I called these people up and I asked them, why didn't you say something right after we sat down for the first time that this was a possibility? And they told me something I will never forget. They're like, Terry, they didn't tell us a single thing. Yes, they didn't tell us anything. They said, if we had known that, we probably could have promised you guys a pie in the sky on the back end. We would have gave you a big old signing bonus to be proactive at the end of the contract, but we didn't know. It was a shareholder decision. You know where I'm going with this. Those who are looking at their portfolio, not as you as a father, as a mother, as a human being, as a person who has dedicated time, got up in the morning, stayed up late at night, worked that overtime through grit and grime and sweat dripping from your face out there, dealing with the dangers of working with steel where everything was heavy enough to kill you. Yes, you're not a person. You're a line on their financial portfolio? How can I get my money up? I see here that this column could be greater. What do we got to do? We got to lay off 200 people. Do it. So shareholders hold a power over the corporation, and the corporation holds a power over the workers. Where's the workers' power? See, you're going to go through something. Everybody does. But I'm here to tell you, no struggle, no progress. Out of adversity, broken things can be put back together. Out of adversity, you can find your strength. It wasn't until you go through something that you can find out, what can I really do? You have to reinvent yourselves. In the same way, you may go over to a convenience store and they got a Pizza Hut and a Taco Bell. They're selling gasoline and have all the snacks and chips and sodas and stuff. They're not just selling gas anymore. They're selling everything inside the convenience store and got a fast food, and some of them even got a mom and pop taco stand inside. People are reinventing themselves. Corporations are reinventing themselves. We have all been through a struggle. But where's the progress? Where's yours? Where's mine? I've come through so much. And after I went through that experience with the railroad shutting down, I humbled myself. And I did whatever job that I can do. And I got involved in supply chain. I purposely did not want to work in logistics. I didn't. My plan was to retire from the U.S. Railroad with the golden parachute. But that didn't happen for me. I humbled myself and I went back to the same place. Because guess what they did? Y'all want to know what they did, cousins? Come here. I'll tell you. It was a shell game. They shut it down. And we were under one name. And we were unionized. Our United States Railroad with the United Steelworkers of America. The team was so strong that they wanted us out. They opened up that same railroad plant, but under a different name. I researched that name. Guess what? The name that we had and the name they opened it up, same parent company, same shareholders. They just changed the name. So we had no claim to this company because this was not that. You've heard me say that before. In doing that, they shut us out, took our tenure, stripped everybody down to 0 days, no vacation that you had accumulated. If you come back, you come back as a new hire, as entry level. It hurt my spirit to be able to go back to that place. But if you have an obligation and you're not taking excuses, because excuses don't feed the family. They don't keep a roof over your head. No. And I happen to like nice things. I just don't want to squeak by. I want to be able to live life to the fullest. And the railroad was providing that for me. I went back. Here's what they did to me. I'm talking about they did me dirty. Why would I ask you that question if it hasn't happened to me? They did me dirty. I went to the guard shack and I said that I wanted to speak to a certain individual who was returned and was now in power. I said, can I speak to that person? They said, sure, we'll get him on the radio. And while I was waiting for them to come down in the golf cart, because the railroad is a huge, expansive plant. The guard looked at me and kept looking at the wall. Looked at me, looked at the wall. It's like, I can't allow you to meet this person. I'm like, why not? They got your picture on the wall. Do not let this person on the premises. Don't let Terry Patrick come on the property. I'm like, why me? They knew the strength of leadership. They knew the strength. And they were probably a little bit bitter. You see, because I was brought in. I was brought in probably to be groomed to be part of leadership. I was brought in by one of the head men and his buddy. You know, I'll say their name, the two Joes. Yeah, they were both named Joe. And they brought me in, got me the job. I was struggling at that time, yes. I was working in a restaurant and at night and in the daytime working in a sawmill. I was working 2 jobs, went 100 days, no off day. I'm talking about working 2 times a day to the point where I finally got an off day when I showed up to the sawmill in an apron and a waiter's bow tie. And they were like, you don't even know where you are. Go home, get some rest. But the 2 Joes brought me in. So I was supposed to be a part of the leadership team. I didn't go that route. I went with the people and took a position of union leadership. So that put me in direct opposition of the people who gave me the job. It's okay, in my opinion, because we all just people, just human beings, putting our pants on one leg at a time, showing up on a daily basis. It's not like the old days anymore, where it's some almost animosity that was going on. They put my picture on the wall like a wanted poster, like I'm Jesse James or somebody, and said, do not let this man on this property. They were afraid that I would undo everything that the shareholders had done, put the axe down, close the building, get rid of everybody, strip them of their benefits, strip them of their pay, bring them back for meager wages. If they let Terry Patrick back on the property, we can go through the whole thing again. That's what the enemy does to good people. Will attack you. Attacked me in a way that, you know what, being good was my problem. I was too good. I spoke eloquently. I knew more about the contract than the company did. I had studied, and I knew that they were about to hit a big boom. They were about to come into a lot of money that was going to take us from where we were to upper middle class. They were going to have to break bread. Yes. And they refused to do it. My point for you guys here is Frederick Douglass. No struggle, no progress. If you don't go through something, you will not get stronger. It's in that time, that adversity, that you find out who you really are. I'm talking about when the rubber meets the road, when you got that long road ahead of you, when you got that ability to be able to make a change in people's lives, and negative people don't like your positivity. They don't like you being around because it agitates their demons. Yeah, you had ill will planned. And guess what? I'm still standing. Yes, I am, cousins. Somebody better clap for that. I'm still standing. And everywhere I go, I bring me with me, but I bring my story with me as well. You may find yourself as a young person working for a temp agency, and they treat you like you're disposable. Don't you buy into it. That's not you. You have value. You have worth. And the enemy has peeked into your present, which is probably in his past, and say, I got to do something with her now because she's getting stronger. She's getting stronger. I got to put some hurdles and some obstacles. Well, guess what? You treat them hurdles like speed bumps. Speak your truth. When you speak, you better speak dynamite to granite. Boom. Blow up their whole plan and just keep living. If you are up in your golden age and you wonder, why would the company do this to me? See, you can work yourself into an early grave. Come on, cousins. Yes, you can. You can work yourself into a situation where you got nothing but medical bills. Know what the company will do? They will write your job posting for the availability of your position before someone can write your obituary. And while you are gone, laid up in the grave, they will have somebody else new, entry level, of course. And they're going to pay them entry level pay. So don't you dare put a job before your God. Don't you dare put a job before your family. Get your pecking order in right and decent order. What is my pecking order? I'm glad you asked. It's God. Then my wife. Yes, then my children. And after that, my finances, my career, my endeavors, my dreams, my hopes. I put all that and everything else, family and friends come in fifth place. And don't you dare try to leapfrog the pecking order, because I will have to put you in your right place. My kids know you ain't before my wife. I love my woman and I love my children. I'm going to put grandbaby in there too. You see Sky Baby at the end of this podcast. Yes, she is in there too. Love them. But I put none of that before God. So that is my pecking order. That is how I feel that we, as a society of working people, and that's what this podcast is. It's talking to the working man, to the working woman, the career-orientated one. I've talked many times about how to put in applications, how to be able to land that interview. Let's talk about exit plan. How do you leave a job? If you carry that bitterness, it will eat away at you, and it does nothing to the company. The shareholders don't even know your name. You should know your name, and you should know by whose name that you are called. Yes, whose name? Who are you? And don't let anyone try to tell you that you are less than, because you are greater. You'll never truly understand how many people are intimidated by you. They see your power and they see your strength. And you take that strength and you know, hey, no struggle, no progress. If I hadn't struggled, I will not be where I am today. You have to thank yourself for being able to walk through hell and high water. If you walk through hell and high water and you came out on the other side, congratulations. Congratulations to you, cousins. I'm glad that you guys were able to tune in. Yes, right here on another episode of Word to the Wise, where we keep doing it just like this, okay? I want you to just really appreciate the fact that you're still standing. Are you still standing? Do you know what Frederick Douglass said is true? No struggle, no progress. Yeah, but you are progressing. And just like this podcast, yeah, we're moving forward, putting out new episodes. And hey, it's only for those out there that truly, truly want to hear something of value. That's who we are. I thank you guys. And until next time, cousins, yeah, I'm just going to keep holding it down. And I'm going to do you like I do my potatoes. I'm going to plant you now and dig you later. Because we go way back like Fat Crayons and Hot Wheel Track, like Goofy Diapers and Similac. And we are winning right here.
hope you like the podcast. And you really like the podcast.
Come on, be serious.
And you really like my podcast. Like and subscribe.